Cars you can finally import in 2022. Hello there. Well, I guess everyone wanted to have our own cars. Well, I have some on my list. Welcome to your YouTube channel where we'll talk about the cars you can finally import in 2022. Let's get started. Let's begin. We're gonna start strong and kick off this list with a Japanese legend. 1997 Honda Civic Type R. It's a pirate's favorite car, or if you're like me and like to impress people by using chassis codes, the EK9, the EK, or the hatchback version of the 6th generation Civic was the first one to wear the Type R badge. And guess what the R stands for? Racing. It comes with stiffer shocks, a close ratio, 5-speed transmission, a limited sleep differential, a seam-welded body to make it extra rigid. It also had the reddest interior that you have ever seen. Another thing that it has is a hand-ported B16B engine that makes 182 horsepower. That's one of the highest horsepowers per liter ratios for a naturally aspirated engine ever. And the whole thing only weighs 2,300 pounds. Now, people have been making Type R clones in the US since they freaking won. But now, you can actually bring one real deal. Starting in August, cause that's when the oldest EK9's VIN turns 25. Okay, but listen closely because this isn't the last Honda we're gonna see on the list. But you're gonna have to wait because the next car is Mitsubishi. The Mitsubishi FTO actually stands for Fresco Turismo Omologato, which in Japanese, Italian for Fresh Tuning Irrigation. And it's a spicy little two-door front-wheel drive coupe, just like the EK9 that we just talked about. Now, it's true that we've been able to import the FTO for a few years now, but in 1997, Mitsubishi decided to give it a little facelift, which have also got my first facelift. But besides facelifts, not the Type R and the Type R, okay? Stands for the racing, yes. It came in the upgraded suspension, a limited slip differential, a freaking mad 90s rear wing, and the facelift came with the February of 97's. The same year that Scottish scientists cloned Dolly, the sheep, who's dead. But maybe that's not enough. Mitsubishi Forbishi. And that's fine because I got even better Mitsubishi. This is one of my favorite cars, Pajero Evolution. This was a homologation variant of the Pajero and it dominated the Dakar Rally for decades. That's because it was built for exactly the purpose to donate the Dakar Rally. Has won Dakar more than any other vehicle and even driven by the first women to ever win the event. What is up? Between 1997 and 1999, Mitsubishi built 2,500 of this freaking road Gundams. And starting this year, you can bring one into America. We're gonna come back to Japan soon, but for now, let's take a trip to the south of the equator and a little place like I like call Criminal England or America's upside down twin, Australia. Ford Falcon is nothing like the Ford Falcon in America. It was produced all the way up in 2016 over there. And they got a ton of wild versions of this hog. I'm talking about the Udis and the stuff with the tray. But the late 90s, the Falcon had kind of strayed a bit from its roots and lost most of the sports pedigree and it was originally known for. But that didn't stop Ford from making the Falcon XH, XR8 utility, the funky-looking UT with a 1-sore V8 lifted from the Mustang. This puppy's good for about 250 horsepower. But that's just the beginning because it's a Ford V8. There is a ton of bucks, might not be the prettiest car on the list, but it's the one that lasts really cool. V8 Falcons of 28 centuries. Volkswagen. There are a lot of weird versions of a Volkswagen, but the weird version we're talking about is the Mark IV Golf VR5. That's right, not V6, V5. And to clarify, the engine in my Golf is not a V5, it's a straight 5. Volkswagen took a perfectly good VR6 engine and chopped up one of the cylinders. Why? 5-cylinder engines have a sound that is likely any other engine setup. I have one in my car. They even made an all-wheel drive version for its car. So if you want yourself a weird 5-cylinder Golf R grandpappy, you can start bringing those over in October. You're in luck because 1997 was the first year of the LT1 TX1, aka the London Taxi. It's roomy, it has classic-inspired styling, looks like your freaking PT Cruiser, and it's powered by a Nissan diesel engine. 1997 Toyota Century. The Century has been around for almost a century, since 1967 as the Rolls-Royce of Japan, but in 1997, the car's 30th anniversary, they uploaded its since new architecture styling and a big fat honking V12. This is the same V12 that Smoking Nagata shoehorned into the top secret Supra. We talked about it a few weeks ago, and this car was so exclusive that Toyota decided who could even buy one. But now they're on the used car market, and you could cruise one of these yachts down the Route 66, which is not as cool as I thought it would be. Another Japanese vehicle I'd like to mention is a van, because I really want to benefit from the van life SEO. JDM vans have been a huge rise in popularity in the last few years. Nissan El Grande. This funky-looking 2-tons minivan came with an adorable slew of gasoline and diesel engine choices, 2 or 4-wheel drive, and Nissan's first internet-enabled satellite navigation system. Not only is it fully insulated, but it has a ton of room inside. People in Europe are already going full camper convergence on this. GTR. The R33 generation of Nissan Skyline GTR has already been available to import to the US for a few years. Nismo 400R. Some obligations are special for 24 hours in a mall. Nismo, Nissan's racing division, took the standard GTR and improved nearly everything. They're bored and they stocked up to the RB 26DETT, upgraded nearly all the internals and bumped the red line up to 9,000 RPM. The thing makes 400 horsepower, hence the name, and it gets to 60 miles per hour in 4 seconds. Plus, it looks nasty and there's no plan on producing 100 of these, but only 44 made it out of the factory. And the best news is the 1997 model year technically begun production at the end of 96. Honda. Talking about the Honda NSX Type S. The NSX Type S came with a lightweight aluminum BBS wheels and a lightweight rear spoiler, a Momo steering wheel so you know it's serious, and carbon Kevlar Recaro bucket seats. They had a lightweight battery and didn't even have power steering. They used a special mesh engine cover to help drop the weight nearly 100 pounds versus the regular NSX. And to take full advantage of all these weights savings, Honda refused to sell it to fat people. They also revised the suspension with stiffer front dampers and a thicker rear sway bar, but that's not even the best version of the NSX. Type S Zero. That was even more bare bones and I'm sure more expensive. No cruise control, no radio, no power locks, no traction control, no fog lights, no airbags. That took off about 110 pounds compared to the regular Type S. Now they only made 30 of these bad hogs and starting in 1997. So if you want to be one, you better start looking. Now it's just easy to import a car to the US. It costs a lot of money and there's a lot of red tape to jump through. You should get yourself a broker, but if you're really determined and this is something that you need to do, it's not impossible. Thank you for watching. Please do comment, subscribe, and click the notification bell to be notified of our new videos and updates. Bye and see you next video.